What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets. I was trying to think of my intro to this video because I've been frustrated, aggravated, annoyed. The Jets are 0-3. At parts of this game, it was completely unwatchable. It was just boring. It was sloppy. It was ugly. And then Aaron Glenn told me in the press conference, they're not the same old Jets. And I'm like, I feel so much better now because a portion of me thinks they are when you find ways to lose. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. The Jets find ways to lose from top to bottom. When I say top, general manager, coordinators, coach, players, and everybody else contributed to this loss. And it's a heartbreaking one because, the Jets, Will McDonald made an incredible play, blocked the kick, 50-yard rush for a touchdown. And the minute he scored, you look at the clock. And the cynical fan of me, I must have got 20 text messages. I'm like, way too much time left. I've seen this too many times before. Until the Jets prove otherwise, they are the same old Jets. They have to learn how to win, and currently, they don't know how to do it. Now, on offense, I admittedly thought Tyrod Taylor would give a spark to this offense. The passing offense would be better. They come out, they started the game, their scripted plays were good. They marched right down the field, they got 11 plays. They got a couple good penalties. Take a field goal. Not ideal, but you put points on the board. The defense, we'll talk to that later. Offense goes back down again. They get 2 field goals. It seemed like they're a little conservative. Tyrod didn't play in the preseason, so he's probably trying to find his way, trying to get chemistry, all these different things. Couldn't run the ball. The offensive line was struggling because you knew Todd Bowles was going to stack the box, be very aggressive, and try to bully you because that's how he rolls. And I appreciate it. He's very, very aggressive. And the Jets seemed caught off guard by it. And they were doing the same thing over and over, and they weren't adjusting to it. So the first half was a mess. But then when they did complete passes, like Tyler Johnson had a drop, you just saw the lack of legitimate playmakers. You have Garrett Wilson, but when the going gets tough, the defense is going to cover Garrett Wilson and make things difficult. It always seems like when opposing teams complete passes, the guys are running in space, the Jets are fighting for it. They got to make miraculous catches or contested catches. Nothing ever looks really easy for them. They're not running in space, which is bothersome. But that's what happens when you hire a first-time offensive coordinator in the NFL. He's got to learn his way. He's got to figure it out. New quarterback, a lot of inexperienced playmakers. And Arian Smith, pre-snap penalty. Mason Taylor, pre-snap penalty. Taylor did have 4 catches, but the Jets lack playmakers. Josh Reynolds is out again. That's a Muji thing. Stone Smart, anybody? Not doing anything. Jeremy Ruckert, doing nothing. Alan Lazard had the 1 catch, the touchdown, which I didn't think was a catch. But that's it. There's no really legitimate playmakers. Breece Hall, the backfield, fine. Now they're using Braylon Allen as a receiver. I mean, it's just... And then you have the little mistakes that Aaron Glenn keeps talking about are blocking assignments. Beck whiffed on a couple. Isaiah Davis missed on one. Then you have the 4th and 1 play. Membo completely whiffed. And the play call, I hated too. I like the idea of going for it on 4th and 1, but you don't have the running back 8 yards back getting the ball. You see the tush push. And Tyrod's a mobile guy. Snap the ball and just jump for it. Make it just different. And this is like the 3rd time they've done this, I think. Then you have the 4th and 12 play. An 8-yard pass to Lazard. What is that? It's like a quick play. It makes no sense. So some of the stuff on offense was just dreadful. It's just the struggles. But then in the second half, they come along. Tyrod gets more of a rhythm, more pace on it. You have the nice play of Tyler Johnson. He catches it. Garrett Wilson. They have the one pass. When it's third and goal or third inside the 20, it's going to go to Garrett Wilson. The teams know that too. They're double covering him now. You had the Lazard touchdown. Defensively, man, I am so tired of watching this defense. They just don't know what they're doing, and they look very poorly coached. Now, the biggest key to this game is the Bucs offensive line was completely made sure they were ravaged by injuries. Is dominate the line of scrimmage, stop the run, and get after Baker Mayfield. The Jets early on did that. They accrued all kinds of holding penalties, but when Baker had time to clear the ball, he was completing passes all over the place. This Jets secondary is gross. Sauce struggled with Mike Evans. Michael Carter seemed like he's struggling. Brandon Stevens, I don't know why Sauce didn't travel with Mike Evans. The minute they switched over, Brandon Stevens couldn't cover Mike Evans. Touchdown. Then you have the penalties. Sauce, 3rd and 29 penalty. Quinnen had a penalty. Michael Clemens, weekly penalty. All personal fouls. Or Sauce was pass interference. They just find ways to lose these games. Cisco is just a complete liability back there. Then you have 2 plays that would drive you absolutely crazy, where the one Bucky Irvin play, there were literally 8 Jets defenders in the same area. He cut back and he ran away. And it was like ants chasing food, little green ants. It was like little kids. You ever watch little kids playing soccer, and they just like bunch ball, they all chase the ball? That's what it looked like. It was like pee-wee football, the Jets defense. They can't get off the field. The Buccaneers had 4 sacks. The Jets had 1. And the Jets can't, they force fumbles and can't recover them. The Bucs force one, they recover them. Then you had the awful, I forgot to mention this earlier, the awful pick six right before the half. That was a backbreaker. To me, I thought that was the game. I'm like, well, this is the game. Check please, we're done with this. To the Jets' credit, they were down 17 going to fourth quarter. They come all the way back, which gives you some kind of hope. Like, well, maybe they're going to do this. Again, Will McDonald, phenomenal play. You got to give credit to Chris Banjo for scouting it and putting it in place. But then the defense can't wrap up. They can't. Like, you just knew it was going to happen. Baker Mayfield gets a 33-yard run. Like, all these little things. And it's just, you expect more out of this defense. And I'll keep asking this question. Is it the scheme, or are we truly overrating all this talent? Because there's a lot of high-priced guys here. Literally. And you look, and the other thing you have to bring it up sooner or later is, look at the way the Jets approach free agency and all the contributors they brought to this defense and how many of them are actually doing anything at all, if they're still on the team. Look at those numbers. Not good. So now you have this another loss. You're 0-3. Miami's a must-win. Because if not, you're 0-4. I mean, this is going to really spiral out of control. You're going to really struggle to find what games are still wins on this schedule. But you listen to Aaron Glenn in this press conference, the way he's talking, and you could talk like this if you've already won as an NFL head coach, and as a head coach in the NFL. Like if you're Andy Reid or whoever, all the Harbaughs or Mike Tomlin or whatever, if you've had your 10, 11, 12 win seasons, if you've made playoff appearances, you've done all these things, you can have some swag. But listen, I know what my team is. We're going to turn the corner. Just trust me. It's hard to trust a coach when this is your first time on the job and you're seeing a lot of alarming things that former coaches in the past have done as well, and they aren't here anymore for a reason. It's a lot of alarming things here. But to the credit, the team kept fighting, but he's getting smug with the media. He's getting sarcastic, and it's just, sometimes you just got to own it. And I personally would give Steve Wilks 8 weeks. And after 8 weeks, if the defense is still like this, Aaron Glenn, as the CEO of this team, should be taking over play calling. That's what he should do. This is more about just owning it and fixing it and being more hands-on and aggressive, not sitting back and waiting for the season to end. While this is a time to assess your players and your staff, you don't sit back and tank a season. So this is going to be a long season, man. This is not enjoyable. You have a good feeling they're going to be irrelevant by Halloween, probably sooner than that. Then we're going to be talking draft, and then you're talking about, well, if we tank the season, who exactly are they going to tank for? And that's the bigger problem with all of this. You like to lose. You want to lose young. We don't have a young quarterback you're losing with. It's like I was asked on the stream today, like, wow, did Tyrod play good enough to keep Justin Fields on the bench? The passing game was probably a little bit better. I thought he held on to the ball too long, but he didn't have like 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Jets can go back to Fields. That's the guy who put all their money in. They're what, $20 million a year or whatever it is. They're going to bring him back. So it's not like they're losing with a Jackson Dart or a young quarterback. Like, all right, he's finding his way. Next year we're going to build on it. What are you building on next year? There's a pretty good chance you're looking for a quarterback next year. So you're going to be starting this all over again in terms of rebuilding and growing pains and learning curve. And how frustrating is that? So, man, I can't believe we're here already, man. But I'm really, really frustrated. And this coach is walking a fine line. He's not going to get fired anytime soon. He's going to probably get 2 or 3 years to figure this out. But the way he's handling himself in these press conferences, I understand you got to say a lot of positive things to offset the negativity of the fans and media. But read the room, man. You're 0-3.